How y'all are, folks? It's your native Flor-xan, and today I'm headed out fishing, but when I get back, I decided for lunch I'm gonna make one of my favorite brunch items. So hang in there and let's get into it. All right, folks, so we're back in from fishing, and I've been having a hankering for some crab cake Benedict. And so since I had some crabs that I caught in the traps, I cooked them, cleaned them, and got the meat from that, and then I had some other meat in the freezer. So we're going to combine the two and make us a crab cake Benedict. And we're going to be using this crab cake mix, but we're not really going to follow all the directions to a T, but we will follow most of them. And it's mainly because I want to add some of them sweet peppers and some onion to this. So let's get started on that. All right, so I got the pan heating up. I'm gonna throw some butter in there, and I think I'm gonna use a little of this toasted sesame seed oil, just a little bit, just to saute up these vegetables. That kind of melt down a little bit. And then I got our chopped up onions and peppers. Just gonna toss them off in there. And we're not looking to saute them, we're just wanting to sweat them down a bit to soften them up so that they're not all crunchy inside the crab cake. Alright, so these are starting to soften up. I'm going to go ahead and add a good tablespoon of garlic to this. Now once we get these softened, we're going to let this completely cool before we add it into our crab cake mix. Alright, so our peppers and onions cooked down. The onions are translucent. They started to get a little bit of saute to them, so I shut them off. That'll be okay though. Alright, so in our bowl, looking at the directions, it calls for 1 egg beaten. Then it calls for 2/3 a cup of mayonnaise. So I measured it out, put it in this little bowl right here, because I don't have a 2/3 cup measurer, just a 1/3. Then it says to add the crab cake mix and just kind of roughly mix it with the mayonnaise and egg. Then fold in the 1 pound of crab meat. I know y'all saw that I had a little bit of crawfish tails in the freezer, don't know why, but I figured I'd add them too. And I'm gonna go ahead and add our peppers and onions now that they've cooled. Then I'm gonna add some of my mild datil pepper sauce just to give it a little oomph. So we don't want to break up all that crab meat, so we just kind of want to lightly toss this around till we get it all mixed up real well. But I'm going to get this mixed up, and then I'll show you how we're going to patty them up and get them into the oven. Just going to try to form these by hand as best I can. What I got is a non-stick baking sheet, one of them silicone sheets. I'm just going to place them on there. I'm not trying to make them too rough because I still want them kind of loose. I'm thinking we're going to probably get, I know, at least 6, maybe even get 8 out of this. So I'm going to keep going, pattying these up, and I'll be back with you in the blink of an eye. Alright folks, so we ended up with 6 patties and probably enough for 1 more. You know, the directions say to pan fry it, but the only deal is if I pan fry it in some oil, the wife won't eat them. So I may pan fry this one up just to try it out, but I'm going to bake these at 425 in the oven. We're going to start off at 15 minutes. The main thing is that the internal temp gets to 165. Once they do that and they're nice and golden brown, good to go. So waiting on the oven to come up to temp. We'll get them going, and then we're going to start on the rest of our eggs Benedict. Alright, so the oven's to temp. Put our crab cakes in. Set our timer for 15 minutes. and let them run. All right, folks, so getting ready. We're gonna make a hollandaise from scratch. And the first thing we need is 3 egg yolks. So what I like to do is just use my fingers and separate them eggs. And then the egg white, we'll figure out something else to make with that. You can toss it back and forth. I've seen people do that. Different things, but I tend to just take that yolk in my fingers, get all the white off. So we need 3 egg yolks. Alright, so I just checked on our crab cakes. I think they're up to temp, but they wasn't quite as golden brown as I wanted, so we'll let them go another 5-6 minutes here. What I got is some boiling water. I added a couple of tablespoons of some apple cider vinegar. White vinegar or work, but you need some kind of an acid. And in order to do the poached eggs, what you want to do is kind of create a vortex inside that pot. Now, I'm just using the handle of my strainer that I'll use to take the eggs out. Now this ain't at a boil, it's just down to a light simmer. You don't want your water boiling. And I crack my eggs into these little bowls just to make it easier to dip them in there. Now if you don't get your vortex just right, if you need to, you can just kind of take your spoon and kind of move that around. But we want to let that go for 3 minutes. So I'm going to set myself a little timer here. We'll let it cook for 3 minutes and then we'll do the next one. Alright, so we're going to let it go 3 minutes, wait for the timer to go off. Crab cakes got a few more minutes to go. Next thing is we're going to start. I got a stick of butter in this little pot. We're going to heat that up and melt that down. We want that butter to be to 200 degrees to make our hollandaise. Alright, so our egg timer's fixing to go off. I'm just going to put it on a little plate with a paper towel. If I was going to be cooking this ahead, I'd put them in an ice bath, but being that I'm going to go ahead and eat, I'm just going to take it out and let them cool on a plate. Butter's getting too hot. Got that butter melting over here. Again, we want to get this butter to 200 degrees. Right now it's at 164, so we need it at 200 degrees to do what we need to do. And get our little vortex going. Drop our next egg. And reset our timer for 3 minutes. Crab cakes. Fresh out the oven. I'm gonna check them for temp. Yeah, they're way good, way good. So our butter's hot, just a little bit over, which is good. All right, we got our 3 egg yolks. To that, I'm gonna squeeze a half of a lime. Most people use lemons, but I didn't have one. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of salt to that. Take a look at our butter. We're going to put our butter in a vessel to pour it, because what we want to do is slowly put that in there. Got to get my other poached egg out. Alright, so we got our butter, immersion blender, got a little salt, got a little bit of lime, and what we're going to do is take and mix this up, and then we're going to slowly add our butter into it. kind of like making an emulsion. You don't want to go too fast. Want to work it around, make sure you're getting everything, but I'm just slowly drizzling that butter in there. And now you got it all in there. Gonna kind of run it around a little bit. You can see coats real good. Buddy, that is good right there. Oh man. Oh man. So excited I can't help myself. Man, this hollandaise turned out good. And I just want to mention, I learned how to do it like this by watching Chef Jean-Pierre. He's got his own YouTube channel. You should check him out because he's got a lot of cool things that he does, and everything I've tried turns out. Let's go ahead and grab a couple crab cakes, get them on our plate. Y'all don't know how excited I am for this. Then we got our poached eggs. There's one. There's two. I broke the yolk on it. That's okay, I'm eating it. And lastly, that fresh hollandaise that we just made. This is enough hollandaise. You could probably do 3, maybe 4 servings of eggs Benedict, depending on how much hollandaise you like. I like a lot of it. So this one turned out good. I broke the yolk on that one, but hey, I'm the one eating it. Speaking of eating it, let's get to eating it. Alright folks, so here we go. Get a little bit of that crab cake, hollandaise. Come on, egg, get on there. There we go. Just give me a minute. Man, oh man, oh man. Y'all don't know how happy I am. I've been waiting on this, been wanting to do this for a while now. We use that Zatarain's crab cake mix. That turned out real good. Of course, we followed, but then did our own thing on the recipe for that. But all this turned out great. It's a little bit of work, but you know, you get up in the morning, you could easily make your poached eggs the night before, make the hollandaise the night before, warm them up, and then your crab cakes, you could cook them the night before. You could warm all this up, put it together, and make your family a great breakfast. So hey folks, I'm gonna get down on this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you try it, but more importantly, thanks to all y'all that subscribed, and we'll see you on the next one.